Association. Our our board has a committee for legislative actions, and we've been working to develop revised language for the RCW governing lake management districts in Washington State. I want to kind of talk about the goal of this workshop. We've received some previous information from us already, but the goal here is for us to finalize revisions with broad stakeholder consensus. So really to target what revisions within this lake management district legislation are low-hanging fruit that could be moved forward within a bill that would have resounding support, and then also identify issues that require additional discussion, and to begin those conversations. We don't necessarily think that everything can be completed today, but to generate that echo. It's been muted. Thank you. And to identify what members will be having those conversations. And then also we want to today determine those next steps and the follow-up actions. The overall agenda here today is I want to provide a brief background on lake management districts and their revision history, our connection with Senator Lovelit, and the efforts that the legislative committee with WALPA has done. And then on review our proposed revisions. This is going to be rapid fire. There's a lot of content to go through. And so while we're going through these, I want to just do quick straw polls. I'll do raising hands for this, or reaction. Thumbs up for if you like something, I guess shocked face if you don't like it. And I guess it's only hands up. We'll just do it one at a time, and we'll use the raise hand function, which will be at the top of your screen.
There are two people with questions right now with their hand raised.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. So the purpose of lake management districts are, they're authorized under RCW 3661 to enable lake communities to collectively fund and implement lake and beach management activities, looking for developing a funding mechanism for aquatic invasive species management, harmful algal bloom response, water quality monitoring and restoration, habitat improvements, and other stewardship activities. These are established through petition or county resolution and approved by affected property owners through a ballot process. They are administered by counties or cities in limited circumstances, and funded through locally approved special assessments with rates and charges. Right now there's about 30 active or recently active lake management districts in Washington State. This varies as they expire or become reauthorized. So the RCW 3661 was originally enacted in 1985. There have been limited amendments since then, despite significant changes in lake management challenges. Higher amounts of harmful algal blooms have been occurring, spread of invasive plants, in addition to administrative practices within county governments. In recent years, lake management districts, primarily championed by Barry Halverson, who's joining us today, have led efforts to revise that document or revise that RCW, but they have not made it beyond the legislative committee. Much of the work that we're presenting today is evolutions of the work that Barry Halverson has led. So I am deeply appreciative to that for that leading the effort and bringing it to WALPA's attention. I think some years ago, as I was on the boat with you, Barry, and wanted to help support this cause. So since hearing of this, WALPA's legislative committee has convened lake residents, lake management district administrators, as well as the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife to identify opportunities to modernize this statute. In spring of this year, we connected with Senator Liz Lovelit, a state senator from Anacortes, who is offering legislative staff assistance to develop this bill, which is really in the writing of it. She is not yet committed to sponsoring it, She'll want to take a look at what is being proposed. She may be willing to sponsor it or to suggest it's sponsored by some of her colleagues. So really excited by having the support at the state level. Okay, now I'm going to jump into our proposed revisions, and these are broken out into 5 different themes here. Some of these proposed revisions we think are low-hanging fruit, but sometimes that fruit is rotten and we don't know it yet. So we really I'm hopeful to hear where we have blind spots. So within this first theme, which is reduced administrative burden and costs, we have 5 proposed changes. Note that all of these changes and our proposed language will be reviewed and refined by legislative staff to make sure that it's the best legal language and consistency within the chapter. So as you're reviewing these, know that an expert in public policy and Washington Code will be reviewing this. And also, as a heads up, I will not be reading through all of our track changes within the RCW. I will be speaking to our general purpose of it, as well as showing the proposed revisions while we are conducting our straw poll. Okay, the first is to focus additional hearing notifications on impacted properties only. Under RCW 3661-050, a second hearing after the first hearing requires that all properties be notified if new parcels are added or the assessment increases. This would be amended to reissue notices only to the affected properties. This is to reduce the administrative burden on county governments to not have to send out mailers to every single resident, but only those that are being affected by changes in the boundaries or assessment rates. So helping refine and focus, because those initial, because everyone else was already notified during the initial public hearing process. So this was something that was suggested by administrators. We don't know necessarily the support from residents or other public agencies. Be interested to hear that now. If you support this measure, please raise your hand. The other questions I'll be asking support, support with modifications, and the final will be opposed. So right now, raise your hand if you're supporting of that. And Marissa, I'll look to you to tally this, and you can put this into the chat after we're done. Okay, I'm going to close the support in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait.
Sorry.
Raise your hand. I'm trying to get a screenshot as quickly
12.
as I can.
I think it was.
And do you want everybody or just residents weighing in on this?
I want everyone weighing in on this right now.
Okay, I am seeing 10. No, I have 11 now. I just want to finalize that before I take my screenshot.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay.
Lisa. Okay. Those that would support this with minor modifications, please raise your hand. And those who don't have that, please lower it while you have this chance.
I am seeing 2 right now.
Thank you.
Oh, 3. Hang on just a second. Keep those up.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you,
got it.
Matt. And I will be sending out a separate poll where you will have opportunity to provide more explanation of your position, but also feel free to provide that explanation in the chat here. But we will revisit these. Okay, are there any who are opposed to this revision?
So Frank, it looks like just has his hand permanently raised.
I will lower that.
Oh, there
Joel,
it goes.
Joel,
Okay, and Joel,
do you tend to
you
have your...
you were for both support with modifications and oppose. So if you could maybe clarify which one you're... Okay, the hand went down, so I'm going to assume that support with modifications. If not, re-raise your hand if you're opposed right now, or say something. Okay. I don't think we have any opposed to this one then.
Okay, thank you. All right. That was our learning opportunity for voting, and I'm hopeful that we'll be quicker too here. I'll try to be quicker on my side as well. Number 2, our recommendation is to reduce redundancy in special assessment collection notices. Currently, the RCW 3661-190 requires both newspaper publication and mailed notices to all landowners after confirming the assessment roll, even though landowners have already received multiple notices that the assessment has passed. Those that have appealed through RCW, I think 180, I don't have all these memorized, would already know the results of that appeal process. We would like to amend this. We recommend amending this to allow flexible notification options. For example, a newspaper posting on the county website along with a mailed notice, or including it within the property tax bill, and also eliminating a requirement to send out mail notices within 10 days of the newspaper publication. I'll be presenting that language here in a second if you're not following completely. The benefits here, we're trying to decrease the amount of duplicative mailings and publishing costs, streamlining notifications without reducing transparency, because we still have multiple public notices and public hearings prior to this, and keeps the required notice while still modernizing delivery methods. Because already there are notices during the creation of the district. There's a public hearing notice, then there's a public hearing. Affected property owners receive a ballot. There is a notice for public hearing during the special assessment roll, then a public hearing. And so this is really looking to streamline this final notice of being added to the special assessment collection here. So all of those who support this modernization, please raise your hand. If you would like to not commit yet, you don't have to commit to any of these either yet. Okay, thank you. I will close voting for support in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Marissa, I just made Marissa, you just tell me when you take your photo. It was 10.
Hold on, it didn't take for some reason.
Okay, sorry. This is also recorded, so hopefully we can see that later. But I appreciate the redundancy here, but we don't want redundancy in mailing. Okay, please, everyone, lower your hand. And those who support this but would like minor modifications, please raise your hand.
Got it.
Okay, I think you can lower your hand, and then those who oppose this, please raise your hand. And Frank and Mark, Mark, is your hand raised for opposition here? No, okay. Well, yes.
I'm trying to lower it.
You're trying to lower it. Okay, I can lower it for you. Okay, none opposed. So those who suggest minor modifications, please feel free to put them in the chat, or I'll be sending a follow-up form.
I want to clarify, Frank, again, we have you both for supporting and supporting with changes. Do you know?
Please, Frank, if you could provide that in the chat.
Chat. If you can't, because you rose it first, I'm going to guess it's supported with changes. Frank, I suspect you might have your computer or two devices that are connected. If so, if you mute one of those, I think you'll avoid that tunnel effect if you can hear me. You could give it a try if you want. Okay, sorry.
Okay, moving on. I'm going to also provide a link to the form where you can provide your votes as well as explanation. Moving on, we want to make boundary adjustments easier. Under 3661, there are no mechanism to respond to small changes in the boundaries of lake management districts outside of doing a reformation or reauthorization process. We want to amend to allow districts to adjust assessment boundaries after formation to respond to changes such as parcel splits, access updates, new developments, mapping corrections, or other shifts in benefit. So this would be for both the addition and removal of properties. This is adding a new section to 3661 for the adjustment of district boundaries. This is building on the initial bill that was brought forward by Barry to allow property additions as well as removals to be more nimble. Okay, so those who are in support of this revision, please raise your hand. Please note that under 3, that those that are affected will have opportunity for a hearing to contest their addition to the assessment.
Okay, I got that.
Okay.
So everybody can lower their hand.
Thank you. All right, those who support with modifications. Okay, thank you, Kevin and Matthew.
Oh wait, I didn't get them at the same time. Could you two both raise your hands one more time? Got it.
Thank you. And those who oppose. Okay, thank you. Moving on. I think actually we're going at a really good pace here. I'm really excited. The final, I don't know, this is the final one. So for our recommendation 4 is to make rate adjustments more flexible. Presently, the statute is unclear on how to make changes to assessment rates, or whether that requires repeating the full district creation process with a new resolution and landowner vote. Lacking clarity makes normal rate adjustments difficult, even when changes are minor, especially for longer term lake management districts. Our proposal is to amend to allow routine increases up to 10% annually. We can discuss that 10%, of course, along with a 200% cap over the total lifespan of the lake management district. So, for example, if the lake management district was established and the total assessment was 100,000 in year 2, that could be raised to 110,000. Year 3, 120,000, but going no more than 200,000 over that time period. This would apply both in terms of the total assessment and then also for individual property owners, that those rates that they are paying will only be going up by a maximum of 10% each year, up to a maximum of 2% overall. Any increases beyond that would require a vote and a approval by Lake Management District members. We also have further recommendations in a different area of this bill for the development advisory committees, and we would want those advisory committees to be part of recommendations to the county authority for making these rate increases. Okay. 5%. Thank you, Barry. So with that, I'll move over to, so this would be affecting both 3661, 115, and 170. Both of those deal with the annual increases as well as the maximum cap. This is to keep up with the increasing costs of lake management due to inflation and other elements, as well as new challenges that arise. So with that, I want to show this revised legislation. This is setting up an entirely new, replacing all the text that's presently there with this text. With that, I want to open up to those who support.
Before we do that, actually there was a chat in there, and I think I misrepresented something here that we might want to address first. I had taken the 200% and the 10% from what I thought was the LMD feedback, but it looks like they were actually proposing a 5% change.
Okay.
So I don't know if we want to discuss that, but that is a big difference.
I think this is an area that I would like more discussion of anyways. I think it is some amount of increase, and I think we do want to have a conversation on what is the appropriate increase. My gut, which is not representative of Walpa's opinion, is that 5% is more appropriate. That's more aligns with inflation, but I think that is a good place for discussion, and that might be a support with modification. So if you feel that you want to not have that 10%, please vote for the support with modification. But first, let's start with just the general support.
Okay, I'm gonna take it. Oh, no. Any more changes?
Okay. Hold.
Okay, got that.
Okay, and please lower your hands. Those that support with modification, please raise your hand. I'm gonna raise my hand too. I say I'm not actually a participant in this.
Okay, is everybody good?
Okay. Okay, please lower your hands. Those that oppose this as written, please raise your hands. Great. Okay. I will go ahead and move on from this, and if we have time, we will come back to discuss the appropriate percentage. And there may be additional legislation that's out there that has this type of rate increases over time that we can look to for inspiration. Okay, number 5, streamlining LMD reauthorization. The current RCW requires districts repeat the full creation process reauthorization, even with minor changes. This is a lengthy and costly process for both Lake Management District members and Lake Management District administrators, which is making the routine continuation of LMDs unnecessarily difficult. We have adjusted the initial LMD Barry provided language to allow more flexibility in reauthorization and ensure that public agencies retain notification and voting rights during that reauthorization. We have a number of benefits from our perspective papers. We expect folks will likely support this. I know that there was some contention around this with public agencies, but we've made some adjustments in the language of this revision, which we'd be interested to hear the opinion of public agencies as well as residents in those adjustments. So in the ways that this differs from the original LMD legislation, the original LMD suggestion from Barry suggested limitations on ensuring that LMD is consistent with the district's current resolution in terms of planned improvements and maintenance, that the proposed increases in special assessments may not exceed 110% of the current charges, that they are going to be imposed consistently, and that the number of years does not exceed what the of the new district does not exceed those of the original district. We think that through a public notification process and balloting procedures, those changes will be captured within the ballot, and so those are not necessary limitations within the reauthorization, so that during a reauthorization, there's going to be more flexibility in adjusting the purpose and scope of a lake management district to potentially include harmful algal blooms. So that was not part of the original purpose. I'm thinking of Lake Campbell and Lake Erie, which lake management districts is expressly around the management of invasive aquatic plants. However, both those lakes are handling harmful algal blooms, but the scope does not allow use of LMD funds for harmful algal blooms. Through the reauthorization process, they could expand that scope, as well as adjust assessments to handle the additional challenges. So, I'm saying a lot. Please go ahead and raise your hand if you are supportive of this. If you have questions, please put them in the chat as well. I think, Chris, you had a question.
Yeah, what was you said there was a cap on the amount of increase proposed under this?
Under initial legislation proposed by Barry and with Senator Braun, there was a cap, whereas in this version, we don't necessarily recommend a cap at this time because it is still going through a balloting procedure with weighted votes based off of the assessment rate.
Great, thanks.
And this is a big one, and so again, I think we can always revisit this and continue to have conversations. I think this is a major issue. Okay.
Okay, got it.
All right, moving, go ahead and lower your hands, and those that support this with modification, please raise your hands.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Please go ahead and lower your hands, and those that oppose.
Wait, can I ask real quickly? I think I saw a Mel briefly in there that may have supported modification, then it disappeared. Could we maybe just have everybody who support with modification re-raised to make sure I get everybody?
Yes. If you support with modification, please raise your hand.
Okay, I am missing Mike from the last time. Mike, did you want to vote a support with modification?
Support.
And now I lost. What was that?
Support.
Support. Just straight support. Okay. And then so now I lost the others. I'm so sorry, but
I think it was Kevin and Mel.
Kevin and Mel.
Yes. Thank you.
Why am I not? I'm not seeing anybody.
Okay.
I'm just gonna write Kevin and Mel.
Okay. All right, and then those that oppose this, please raise your hands. Marissa, how could you?
Wait, is my hand raised?
Yeah.
Okay, nobody is opposed to this, is what I'm seeing. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Bustling along. We're moving into revision theme around fixing gaps. Number 6 is to add an advisory committee. Right now, there's no requirement for an advisory group or other methods for LMD residents or owners to provide feedback to the administration. We would like to add language encouraging jurisdictions to formally recognize resident advisory or steering committees. Many lake management districts already have advisory committees or steering committees. We'd like to formalize that existing practice. This supports effective program implementation by incorporating local knowledge while also maintaining that jurisdictional authority, ensuring the public agencies have options to participate, looking for public agencies that may be managing a boat launch or a park along the shoreline to also be able to participate on those advisory groups. We have included 2 pieces of language here, options A and B. Option A was from the original LMD RCW proposed revision, and option B was developed with the LMD administrators. So this is going to be a little more lengthy, but we're going to go with option A first. Support with modification. Opposed. Actually, we're going to do option A, support with modification. Option B, support with modification, and then opposed to the development of steering committee altogether. Okay, so first starting with option A, those that support that, please raise hands.
I think we have some questions here in the chat that we might need to clarify. There's something from Mel about this would only work if it was exempt from OMA requirements and 8 advisory versus steering committees. So I don't know. I had come under the assumption that advisory and steering committee were basically the same. So I don't know if we want to get back to that later, but there, I think, are some questions that might help to clarify before we vote.
So open OMA is related to Open Meeting Act, I believe, or sunshine laws, in which those that are meeting in an official capacity need to be open to all members of the public with recordings and notes and agendas available. So it is a larger burden on steering committees if those are not being run by the county authority or the managing administrator. In both cases, there is some amount of administrative effort that must be done and would need to be accounted for within the assessments. Okay. With that, I'm going to go ahead and get back to our options. Option A, support. Okay. I'm gonna Marissa, go ahead and take your shot.
I got it. Sorry, my was
Okay.
muted.
Okay. Option A, support with modification. Okay. Please lower your hands, or Marissa.
Wait, nope,
It's
not
you
yet.
and Barry.
Oh. Wait, that's not what I saw,
Okay.
but I got 4 people.
Okay. Maybe I'm delayed. Okay, please lower. And now option B, support.
Oh, I raised my hand for the wrong one. Oops.
Okay, option, go ahead and lower your hands. Option B, support with modification. Okay. Marissa?
Yeah, I think I got that.
Okay. And then please lower your hands and raise your hands if you're opposed to the encouragement for steering committees.
Okay.
Well, I need clarity on that because I'm not opposed to steering committees, but I'm opposed to the language in option B that says that it's up to the county or city to identify who it is. It's like I was supporting A over B, not supportive of the language in B.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to add you to A, support with changes. Or that's a little, we know we need to fix this one, I think is
Okay.
what this poll is telling us. How's that? And we'll work on it further.
Okay.
But I'll mark you down and with that reasoning.
Thank you, Mike. Sorry, Frank. Can't hear you. Okay, moving on. For recommendation 7 is to clarify bond procedures. This is under 3661.030, paragraph 2. We want to clarify the allowable uses of bonds associated with LMD initiation and operation, providing jurisdictions and districts with clear authority, and reducing legal uncertainty during formation. As regards the placement of that bond, actually, Marissa, can you provide any further explanation of this? I feel like you're more familiar.
This one is actually from the LMD, specifically a loan, and I think the idea is there's that if they post it and it must be returned, and that the funds for the creation come out of Lake Management District instead. But really, I think the one to clarify this would be I made no changes to this one.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Marissa. It is one that came up between Offutt and Patterson Lake and was provided as a recommended solution to the bond issue.
Okay, thank you. So those that support this revision, please raise your hand. Okay. Got it, Marissa? Okay.
Yes.
Please lower your hands. If you support this with modification, please raise your hand. Okay. Thank you.
Hang on.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, I think Mel lowered her hand before I got it, so I'm just going to put in her manually. Or,
Okay.
I don't know, actually. Sorry if my pronouns are wrong.
Okay. Please lower, and if you oppose this revision, please raise your hand. Or you could say that opposition can also be support with major modifications, as you had suggested, Michael.
So Michael, you were previously support with modification, so should I move you to oppose or just put a note, annotate that with major modifications?
For number 6. Oh, you got stuck. Okay. Michael is supportive of recommendation 7. Okay, thank you. All right, we're at 7 of 13. I think we're doing pretty well. I hope these will go very quickly. Recommendation 8 is to add retired and disabled veterans to exemption language. Currently, there's only one potential exemption for low-income persons. We would like to update this to include retired persons and disabled veterans to make it consistent with RCW 84-36-379. This is a very minor change, just to add this to the potential exemptions, which will often already be on the county's roll. So those that support this addition, please raise your hand.
To answer Michael's question, because it doesn't specifically say it, even if it's already covered under property tax exemptions, it's not always exempted. So we're just adding it to align with the property tax exemptions. Okay.
Thank you, Marissa. Okay, please lower if you support this with modifications. Please raise your hand.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and lower. If you are opposed, please raise your hand. Okay. One opposed. All right. Moving on to our next recommendation is to clarify dissolution procedures. Under Section 310, there lacks clarity on how remaining funds are handled upon district dissolution. We'd like to improve fiscal transparency and consistency. We've identified 2 potential options for how to handle this. Option 1 is to return to current property owners within the district any amount of remaining funds within the Lake Management District. Return to landowners. There's some uncertainty, and we are not legal scholars, but we are not sure if it's legal to return to current owners, as they might not necessarily be the ones that paid into it. Some of the dollars within the reserve could be from a former resident. It would take significant administrative time and expense to calculate and implement refunds, or to find former payers if they would be looking further back. Option 2 would be to exhaust funds for the lake management purposes, so the lake will still receive benefits until those funds are exhausted. Staff time and tax dollars are saved from the processing refunds and are instead used for providing benefit to the lakes and investments. The con here, of course, is lake owners don't receive those funds back after the LMD is dissolved. In the initial LMD legislation, option 1 was suggested, or conversation with the LMD administrators suggested option 2, and we unknown for other public agencies. So here is the revised language, option 1 and option 2 within 270. I'm going to be going through the same process of option 1 support, option 1 support with changes, option 2 support, option 2 support with changes, and then opposed or major revisions to either. So starting first with option 1 support. Okay, option.
Wait.
No,
I missed it. Did anybody raise their hand?
I did not.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure.
Okay, option 1 with modification. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. option 2, support.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Option 2, support with modification. I feel like a bingo caller. Okay, thank you. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Oh no, you're well, actually it changed, so I'm going to add Trent and Matthew and take myself out.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and everyone lower and
No,
then...
it's okay. I can just do it in text, but lower and go on to oppose.
Yeah. And then those that oppose or require major modification, please raise your hand. Okay. Thank you. So option revision theme 10 and 11 deal with updating voting methodology. Recommendation 10 and 11, we both will have the same RCW revisions. It's in the same code, so I'll be presenting one for recommendations 11 or 10 and 11. 10 is to address privacy issues in the balloting process. Currently, the RCW requires landowners to ballots to include identity verification and sign those ballots. This compromises ballot secrecy and it makes it inconsistent with other modern election practices. Solutions are to either generally indicate the ballots must be private or to give a specific mechanism such as a separate verification form with a unique identifier or barcode containing signature or parcel assessment or info plus instructions for where to sign and provide that information. We're looking to protect privacy and maintain the integrity of voting. Our recommendation 11 is to provide options for electronic reference to resolution and open the door for electronic voting. This is to open the door for electronic voting away from paper ballots. This is not saying everything must shift over to electronic voting, but rather to allow that as a future option. This is to help cut mailing costs as well as packet sizing, allowing the proposed resolution or LMD creation to be linked through a barcode or a URL rather than sending out the entire packet. This is to decrease that burden on administrative staff for sending out all that information, which of course would eat into that bond amount. So we have 2 pages of recommendation here for the mail ballot for separating that verification while still maintaining information around what parcel is this vote coming from to ensure that we have that assessment weighted vote. We also have highlighted here is that cross connection with reauthorization. And then additional for clarification here for verification forms, reauthorization, and identification of the electronic ballot. So those that are supportive of these modernization of voting processes, please raise your hand that are supportive of the current language as written, current revisions as written.
Clark, you got 2 different options. You got option A and option B. Although the LMD submitted option A, I like the administrator's version, option B, better. So just clarification on which one we're voting for.
We're looking at option B here.
Right.
And I think, so I reduced this in order to help move going forward. WALPA has some recommended options. So we're starting with only option B here. if you would like option A, that would be a support with modification. So those that are just generally supportive, not generally, support what is option B here, which is what I'm presenting, please raise your hand.
Okay, wait, somebody just changed their vote. Hang on. Okay, got it. Wait, Jen, did you want to support it? If so, I'll just add you manually. Okay. Okay, go on to the next.
Okay, those that support with modification, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. And those that oppose, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. So the next two items to discuss do not necessarily have recommendations made, but are areas that I would like to discuss, at least present, and hear your thoughts on during this meeting or in the follow-up, looking at the amount of time we have left. I'm expecting that this will be through follow-up. So recommendation number 12 is to provide notices to public agencies on intent to form lake management districts. Currently, there lacks a specific advance notice requirement for petitioners to provide individual property owners, including public agencies like WWW, before they submit a petition to form an LMD. Right now, property owners, including public agencies, may not be aware until notification of a public hearing, 15 days or 2 weeks prior to that public hearing, that a lake management district is looking to be formed. Without that notification, public agencies and other owners may not be able to provide input into that petition or input into the design and creation of that lake management district. In conversations with DFW, they have requested advance notice of at least 180 days prior to submission of any petition, which would affect public lands. This, in conversations with lake management districts and communities, they would find that additional notification to be burdensome, as that is a half year prior to submittal of a petition. We don't have any specific recommendations. There's a place I would like to have conversation around. I think we'll be having follow-up. I have a thought here, which might be a bad idea, but you know, a bad idea is at least an idea. So prior to filing a petition, petition proponents shall provide a written notice of their intent to pursue formation of a lake management district to all affected property owners, including public landowners and county legislative authorities, not less than 90 days before submitting commission, so decreasing that amount, but providing written notice, which can be through electronic or mailers. Public agencies at that time could opt to allow their acreage to be excluded from the denominator, because in order to submit a petition, at least 20% of landowners must have signed on to that petition. In some cases, most of the land around lakes may be public land. Two options I think around this could be public agencies can either expressly opt in for the inclusion of their land within that 90-day period, or may expressly opt out or have their land excluded. So either purposefully opting in or opting out. I'd love to have more conversation around that, but unfortunately we do not have time. I'll be interested to see your responses and thoughts to this in the form, and we will be having follow-up meetings with that.
I might jump in here, Clark.
Yeah.
I am available to stay longer. So we are going to have a survey to obtain additional people's feedback on each of these items. But I know, especially for those people that want to talk about those modifications more, I'm happy to track those. If anybody wants to stay on, we can talk about those more if desired. We can also just do it by the poll. But I also am assuming there'll be follow-up meetings that'll be focused on specific topics based on who's interested, is my guess. But do you also want to talk about our timeline?
Yes, very quickly. We will be looking to develop language here, especially where we have agreement among our team or among these groups for putting together a bill around that. As we have additional conversations where there is lack of consensus, we would love to have those meetings and come up with the best agreeable revised language for inclusion. We would like to submit proposed language to Senator Lovett's office in mid-August, so there will be quick follow-up from this. So expect that, because the potato is hot and I'm ready to eat it. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, but I do want to talk really quickly about the determination of fee structures. We don't have any specific recommendation around this, but I do want to talk about how we can address rate fairness for larger properties and specifically around public land. I think this will be the same conversation and will tie in well to the previous issue. We know that public agencies sometimes may feel that they're not able to maybe paying an undue share of assessment without receiving the same benefit, especially if they have higher acreage around the lake. I believe there is existing language within RCW to allow balancing of that, looking at different assessment rates, and that through the appellation process, appeals process, public agencies could challenge the way that the rates are being structured. There are options for setting up different rate structures for different types of land uses and different types of there's a lot of different options that are out there for setting up rate structures. So this is just an area for higher conversation, and I think per theme 4, ensuring early engagement with impacted public agencies can hopefully help support development of a fair and appropriate special assessment structure and increase the likelihood of passage. So where possible, I'd like to have collaboration up front, and whether that needs to be incorporated into this bill and law, or set as a precedent within agencies. That's a conversation we had. Now we are over time. Marissa, I'm going to hand it over to you. I will be sending out, I'm going to put the link to the survey, which goes through all these different recommendations, and you can provide detail on your suggested modifications or reasons for opposition. Additionally, for these recommendations 12 and 13, would love to hear more from you on your thoughts on this. Okay, thank you very much. I also have to jump to another meeting because I just love talking. So, okay, where is that?
So I guess, see, Clark, thanks for the all the facilitation. So I guess we'll just do a quick raise your hand if you would like to stay on to talk any of these issues. So I just have an understanding. If there's only 1 or 2 people, I'm happy to, but we really haven't given you any time to give feedback. So I thought it might be an opportunity with you all here to just have a little bit of discussion on some of these. So raise your hand now if you would like to stay on and have time to talk until about 3:30. Okay, I see a lot of no hands. I see 1 hand. 2, Barry, Mel. Oh, no, Mel. Okay. In that case, then I think we will just go ahead and send out the survey. It's a really good opportunity. You can put, if you voted for support with modification, that's a great opportunity for you to add in what modifications you would like to see. And if we're finding, we're especially interested in hearing from all of the different stakeholders. So please do put those comments in there, and I will stay here. And if anybody wants to talk, I'm here.